Friends, we are starting now. Today is 193 Friday group meeting. Last 17th August 2023, we released this book by Justice Honorable Justice Gawai, Justice Narasimha, Justice Vishwanathan. So then so many articles, anthology of articles, lawyers' role in India's freedom movement. Several authors, senior advocate, judges, retired judges, they participated and they given good contribution. On 1st September, we have first round of 4 speakers. We addressed our Friday group. This is Justice Narasimha advised us. We took every time one freedom fighter name, those who have contributed. In that spirit, we are continuing. This is the second. Today's speakers are Mr. Subodh Markandeya, senior advocate. And second is Mr. Justice Karpaga Vinayagam, senior advocate. Third, Vijay Panjwani, senior advocate. And third, A.K.Sinha, former judge and senior advocate and SCBA vice president also. First, we start with Subodh Markandeya. His article on Deshbandhu Chittaranjan Das. Give huge claps.
So, dear administrator and all my friends, I'm usually very script bound, but today I wish to speak extempore. So, Chittaranjan Das, that is Deshbandhu Chittaranjan Das, Deshbandhu Chittaranjan Das. That's the title given to him by the nation. Deshbandhu, friend of the nation. So he was author, poet, visionary, and he wrote Swaraj Constitution of India. So Swaraj Constitution of India, I can't say I have seen it, I also can't say I have not seen it. I have seen it cursorily. But it's a document worth examining in detail because it's reverse of what we usually find in constitutions, top down, from president downwards. This is bottom up, from village to president. And another thing is, he was very fond of saying that the chairperson of village panchayat should be, his idea was that even the Governor General or President or the head of the state should not have power to dismiss or cause any whatever to even the chairperson of the village panchayat. So that's the nature of that document. It's worth examining. And not that I'm a big researcher, but I was curious about what this document is, and I wish to bring it in public domain, that this particular document was is lying, in Victoria Memorial in Kolkata by way of what is called archival preservation. So when I came to know when I read, I was very curious about this document. So at that time, Mr. Siddharth Shankar Rai was still active at the bar. So I asked him, sir, your grandfather wrote this document. So you were chief minister of that state for a very long time. If you did know, what did you do about that document? So he said, not that he was my grandfather, but because that document deserved to be archivally preserved, so I directed with my own, under my signature, that it should be preserved in the Victoria Memorial for the generations to come. It's a pity that, when the Constitution was being made, we had all the British appointed officers. So there were lots of attempts which were made for having Constitution of India. So this was one of the attempts. So those should all have been given by the constitutional advisor, Sir Venegal Narsingh Rao, to the Constituent Assembly so that they could have had the benefit of the wisdom of all this, particularly the Swaraj Constitution. Since this fact was not in the public domain, I think my purpose of speaking today was to bring it in public domain, that this Swaraj Constitution of India is lying by way of archival preservation in the Victoria Memorial. So we are talking about a person who was a great author and the author of this constitution. He was poet. If you are fond of Bengali literature, then you will find very, very significant contribution made by him. And he was a visionary. He had great vision. He was a very brilliant lawyer at that. And his honesty was celebrated because his father had incurred lot of debts and he paid them off. And he paid even the time-bar debts. So he earned a great name. And so this honesty is celebrated honesty. And he was a very forthright leader. Having, the courage of his conviction. He was very forthright. He joined Mahatma Gandhi's movement without blinking an eyelid, as it were. But when Mahatma Gandhi blundered, all the other leaders except Mahatma Gandhi thought that, calling off the civil disobedience movement when it was at its crescendo was a blunder. So many of them reacted. Lala Lajpat Rai wrote a 72-page letter to Mahatma Gandhi saying, "What are you doing? This is not mistake, this is blunder." Like that, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, all the leaders of they were all in jail, but Deshbandhu Chittaranjan Das reacted in this fashion that he not only resigned and he founded his own Swaraj party, but within Congress. And he enunciated an altogether a different policy and program altogether. The Swaraj party believed in entering the legislature, the municipal bodies and others, and make it difficult for the British to rule. So that was their strategy. So he was not just for satyagraha. He thought, I may as well adopt other ways to attain the freedom of my nation. So that's all about I want to say.
Thank you very much, sir, Markandeya sir. And thank you very much, sir. Nicely explained about few things, even though very elaborate. Exactly what is his participation, what is his contribution in the freedom movement. At the age of 87, you are taking a lot of effort for our book also, for giving this about Chittaranjan Das. We are grateful to you, sir.
There were other logistic difficulties for me. Of
Now
my own
we
creation.
request Justice Karpaga Vinayagam, Senior Advocate, will come. No, he is there. Yes. Sir, Mama, give him a chair. Every speaker will get a 10 minutes time. Now, Lordships, the speaker is V.O. Chidambaram, very famous personality from Chennai, Tamil Nadu.
I think 10 minutes starts now.
Yes.
My humble pronouns to this august audience gathered in September. My topic is V.O. Chidambaram Pillai. In Tamil Nadu, the famous. In fact, he was a lawyer. He was a giant in the legal field. His father is also a lawyer. But his father will not allow him to appear in the matter where the fees is not available. But he will appear without fees. Such a great man. That is who is a great man? A man sacrificed for others. There is a sloka, what is Tyagam? What is sacrifice? There is a 4 Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Samaveda, Atharvana Veda. The Yajur Veda is a Krishna Yajur Veda. They refer to the meaning of Tyagam. Nagarmanana Prachayadanena Tyage Naike Amrudattoman Ashogu. Who is a great man? Nagarmana. Man of achievement? No. Na means no. Nagarmana. Na Prajaya? Man of masses? No. Na Prajaya Danena? Man of money? No. Then who is the great man? Nagarmana na Prajaya Danena Tyage Naike Amrudattoman Ashogu. Who is sacrificed everything for the life of others. He is a man of greatness. That greatness and all, like Rajaji, Motilal Nehru, Mahatma Gandhi, all are great men. Because they don't live for themselves, they live for others. River provide waters, not for river, for others. Trees bear fruits, not for trees, for others. That's the reason Shariram. Idam Paropagaram Shariram. This body is meant to help others, serve others, save others. That quality, all the freedom fighters, in fact, I have to congratulate G.Seshagiri Rao to just select the topic, freedom fighters. He belongs to a freedom fighters family.
Oh.
His father is a freedom fighter. G.Seshagiri Rao father statue is erected in Andhra.
Oh.
Andhra and Telangana and all. Man, I have to congratulate him. In fact, I told him, sir, we have to arrange some functions for celebrate your this things and all. He said no. That's also sacrifice. That's also sacrifice. No, point. Otherwise, your agenda would be for a particular project, particular object. You do something and all for getting votes, for getting money. That's not a thing. But do something and all for helping others. The India is not only a fertile country, but India is known for tradition, heritage, culture. You know, the question is, what is the best dress? Chudita? Pant? No. Best dress is smile. Best medicine is laughter. Best woman, mother. Best teacher, experience. Best country, India. That's the best country. There is a poem about country, our country. Oh, what a beautiful India. Punjab for fighting, Bengal for writing. Oh, what a beautiful India. Kashmir for beauty, Andhra for duty. Oh, what a beautiful India. Rajasthan for history, Maharashtra for victory. Oh, what a beautiful India. Mysore for silk, Haryana for milk. Oh, what a beautiful India. Assam for agitation, Madhya Pradesh for vegetation. Oh, what a beautiful India. Andaman for seaports, Delhi for airport. Oh, what a beautiful India. Orissa for temples, Jharkhand for minerals. Oh, what a beautiful India. Kerala for brains, but Tamil Nadu for grains. Oh, what a beautiful India. This is a poem written not by Rabindranath Tagore. This is a poem written by a student studying 10th standard in Chennai. What a national spirit and all. India has got the qualities. India means what is meant by India? I, integrity. N, national spirit. D, devotion. I, inspiration. A, ability. That's called India. The special quality of V.O. Chidambaram Pillai. Pillai is a caste name. Chidambaram. The main quality, that he studied law and he became a lawyer. He appeared freely and he joined Congress. He was born in 1872. He joined Congress 1900 and he started a shipping corporation. Lawyer is one thing. He purchased ships with the help of Tilak. Tilak was very close to him. And he purchased ships in competition to the British Empire. British just got their ships and all, rate and all very high. He got two ships, and from Tuticorin to Colombo, ships were run with reduced rate. It is completely irritated the British. You know what happened? The barrister, these things and all has been stripped. Barrister stripped. Then he appeared in so many matters. He participated in agitation. Thereafter, he was arrested in 1908 in jail. He was in prison. In fact, a barrister license was cancelled. He was not allowed to appear in the matter. He was not allowed to come out of jail. And subsequently, 1912, he was released because of his ill health. Thereafter, he came, and there is one Justice Wallace. Justice Wallace cancelled his earlier order and gave a license to appear. He appeared then. Even they appeared and all, once you just post is over, position is over, nobody is selecting him, nobody is respecting him. So, no cases. Ultimately, he died. But in the jail, only the main thing, when in jail, he was asked to do the manual labor. You know, oil extracting machine. In Tamil, they called it chekkidukra machine. And he will pull the machine manually, not a machine, electricity current not. He will pull manual labor. Such a man, he sacrificed everything and all. In fact, his Justice Wallace and cancelled the earlier order and gave the license for practicing. He was practicing. So after he come out, he put the name of Wallace to his son. His son's name is Walleswaran, the man of gratitude. You know, man of sacrifice is one thing. Man of gratitude is important. Attitude decides your altitude. Attitude decides your altitude. The greatest attitude, gratitude. It's just the gratitude. Can we forget Seshagiri Rao? We have to be grateful to his service rendered by him. 193 meetings, something unheard of. In fact, we all must pass a resolution to arrange some functions for Seshagiri Rao after 200.
5 minutes each. 5 minutes each. On the 200th meeting.
Yes, sir. 5 minutes. Correct. No, point is, he must be recognized. Something, it's all family breed and genes. Father's genes, family genes, all these things and all. Something, he can do good thing only. He cannot do anything and all ill of others. He cannot talk ill of others. He will always see the face, always pleasant face. Smile mean, smile mean SMILE. It's called a sweet message in lip expression. Always smiling, smiling face and all. Because innerly happiness inside and all. That's the reason knowledge is important, but more important is wisdom. Scholarship is important, but more important is determination. Speech is important, but more important is truth. Friendship is important, but more important is gratitude. Society is important, but more important is discipline, character, discipline. The person who has got discipline, character will definitely win in the life. And like that, the life of Chidambaram Pillai is not an ordinary man and all. He was born in a silver spoon family, but he was suffering from poverty after his coming out of jail. But we cannot. But one thing is, we think of him now, and everything and all India In every state there are so many solvers are there, and the opportunity has been given by Seshu to think of them, to remind them, to just follow their good things. Thank you. Saira.
Thank you very much, sir. It's a very nicely explained about Chidambaram Pillai. Justice Karpaga sir, we are highly grateful to you. Always nice to us for that. Now I request Mr. Vijay Panjwani, his freedom fighter, his contribution on Asaf Ali. Please come, Vijay Panjwani, senior advocate.
Good afternoon, my friends. G.Seshagiri Raoji, always we talk very highly about it, but it is not hollow. It is not a hollow talk. It is not taken to be some frivolous remarks or comments. G.Seshagiri Rao has done over the years enormous service to the bar. So many things we learn in these meetings. I don't attend every meeting, but I do follow on the video. There are so many things I did not know, but now it has become a habit, and each time I open Friday group on the YouTube, I learn something, and that is very helpful. Now to begin with this freedom fighters, I found that there are so many advocates, lawyers, not advocates, lawyers who are leading processions, who are leading the freedom struggle, and lawyers who are inside the court, who are defending these people because the British, the English Empire, the King Emperor has his government here and in Delhi, first Calcutta, then transferred to Delhi. And there are so many criminal cases are filed for even small things. So there was a set of lawyers who were inside the courtroom defending the lawyers who are outside. And the third category are lawyers who were outside, leading the freedom struggle, and also practicing law. And one name is Mr. Sapru. Mr. Sapru was leading outside Allahabad and also practicing law. And he made millions of rupees in those days. There is just a few 2.5 kilometers from here, Sapru House, Indian Council of World Affairs. There is a big library in his name. Imagine, it's just 2 kilometers from your Supreme Court. Sapru House. That was in his name. Government of India now has a library in his name. Similarly, I found that just 3 kilometers from here, from Library 2, is Asaf Ali Road. This is that same Asaf Ali about whom I will tell you something. So, while reading, thanks to Mr. Sheshagiri now, because this was a new topic, lawyers leading, we knew only of Gandhiji, Nehruji, but there are so many others. So I found Asaf Ali also. Asaf Ali is linked to Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, Subodh. These are our martyrs. He was their advocate on record. There was no such advocate on record, but he was the managing lawyer for these people who are our martyrs. Bhagat Singh, everybody knows, from north to south, east to west. Who was Bhagat Singh? He was hanged at a very young age by the British, by judges who after understanding his case, did not reduce the punishment to life. It should have been life if at all he has killed somebody, but they hanged him. And that also at midnight. He was taken to the gallows at 7 p.m. and that is Bhagat Singh, but we are coming to Asaf Ali. Now, Asaf Ali, you will find something common. Mahatma Gandhi, barrister. Nehru, barrister. Sardar Patel, barrister. Asaf Ali, barrister. He was not from some small college. He was a barrister from Lincoln's Inn. Now this word Lincoln or the name Lincoln has had a profound effect, influence on the freedom fighters of India. What were they fighting for? The first thing they were fighting for was, of course, freedom for the motherland, which has equal rights for all, which has citizens who can live with self-respect. Self-respect is a very big thing in life. The whole Palestinian question at the moment, though it is about territory and freedom, it is not that. If you just open those issues, you will find self-respect. The Palestinians want to live a life of self-respect. So Asaf Ali also, while he was doing, and one more common thing, while these leaders were in England, in London, there are 4 inns, so they were in different inns. Asaf Ali was in Lincoln's Inn. They had an opportunity to go to the Parliament, House of Commons and House of Lords. It's a very, very big privilege. These gentlemen were privileged people that they were studying and they had access to House of Commons and House of Lords, where they learned how democracy functions. How does it function? From bottom to top or top to bottom. In theory, it is always bottom to top. But when you see, when you remove that curtain, you will see the Prime Minister there. He does what he wants. In theory, it is the people, the will of the people shall prevail. Actually, it is the Prime Minister's will which prevails. We have a very topsy-turvy kind. It was in Nehru's time, it is in Modi's time. It is top to bottom, but our books say it is bottom to top. Asaf Ali he got his degree in barrister at law, Barrett Law, and he had experience in the House of Commons, House of Lords. He saw democracy functioning. He also saw the King Emperor. So now there was a King Emperor, but there was Parliament was there, and there was democracy. In England there were elections. Prime ministers were coming and going. This experience he brought to India. To his surprise, he found that people who think like him, democracy, was Gandhi, Nehru, Patel, and so many others. Sapu, and Lala Lajpat Rai. And Lala Lajpat Rai was a lawyer. We are coming to him just now. And they all had one person in common. These leaders had one person in common. And that was Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, in his shortest speech of 270 words at Gettysburg, said in the end, the last words were, of the people, government of the people, by the people, for the people. Everybody knew what democracy means, but nobody had given shape to it or crystallized it into one sentence. So today, whenever you think of Lincoln, what do you think? You think of the people, by the people, for the people. And he's a great man, great president. Of course he's great. But look at the circumstances. He was there, he was invited to be present at some burial ceremony of soldiers. He was not to speak. Who was to speak? The priest and other people of the church, because there was a burial. But he was requested that since he is President of the United States, he should speak a few words. So he spoke 270 words. And the last sentence was this: That made him the greatest president. And democracy, whenever you talk of democracy, you talk of actually Abraham Lincoln. Now, Asaf Ali, on his return, found all these people, the leaders of our national movement, freedom movement, were all thinking of the people, by the people, for the people. That means you look to the downtrodden, the weakest of the weak, and work for them so that they have equal rights, they have freedom, and they have self-respect. There are other things I think I should tell you. This is Abraham Lincoln, what made him great. Then comes Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi, immediately, three things come to mind. Quit India movement, quit India. 1942, 8th and 9th August, 1942. Quit India movement. This he told to the government of India. You go now. It's enough. We have had enough of you. Go. Please go. Quit India. To the people he said, do or die. If you don't want to struggle, then you continue. You suffer and you die. Either you join us or you live. And what is life? What is life without self-respect? What is life without equality? What is life without freedom? So Gandhiji is known for these two things, and the third is the most famous non-violent protest. It was a unique thing. It was as unique as Abraham Lincoln's of the people. Non-violent protest. I will not hit you back. I will not indulge in violence. That is why there is very little literature on Gandhi's thoughts on Bhagat Singh. Because Bhagat Singh did not believe in non-violent protest. NVP. NVP. He had nothing to do with NVP. Abraham Lincoln also supported the Civil War to protect the Union against the Confederates. He was also, Abraham Lincoln was not for non-violence. He was for Civil War. It should continue, and the Union flag must be hoisted everywhere, all over the United States. Then comes Sardar Patel. Sardar Patel, also barrister, and what he did is amazing.
How you link with Asaf Ali?
I'm coming. Just giving you the background. Just 1 minute. And then Sardar Patel was also a barrister. What he did was amazing. There were more than princely states. And through his personality and tone and tenor, he put fear in the minds of that princely states that there will be police action, there will be army action, they will be arrested, and this helped in bringing the princely states to sign the treaties that they are part of India. They did not surrender, but they said that all right, we are now part of India. Some of them took some time, like Sheshu's Hyderabad. It took about 18 months for Hyderabad to join the Union of India. And then there was this Article 37, which thankfully is gone now, Article 370. Article 370 also protected some parts of India, which were at that time necessary, but with flow of time, it is not necessary. Asaf Ali was living in these times. This background I gave you, he was living in these times. And when you live with such people, you also start thinking like that. So Asaf Ali for the first time courted arrest in Bombay in 1942, much later than his, his defense of freedom struggle, much later. And he also, before that, married Aruna Asaf Ali. Aruna Asaf Ali was about 15 years younger to him, and she put the flag on Gavalia tank in Bombay, where the Quit India movement, 8th and 9th August, the meeting was held. 3 cases in which Asaf Ali appeared. 2 were of Bhagat Singh. One was the bomb case. He heard the first bomb. He entered the parliament, this same building, which has now been vacated. In this very building, he hurled a bomb, but made of not to kill people. A lot of smoke came out and some noise, some sound. The second was, I think, Subodh, who was behind him. He threw a bomb. The same thing, very light bomb. Nobody got injured, but because it was parliament, it was called Central Legislative Assembly. Central Legislative. So a case was filed. Before that, I'll give the conclusion. The case was filed and it resulted in sentencing to unbelievable sentence of life. In this bomb throwing case, Bhagat Singh got life imprisonment sentence. Another case was in which Asaf Ali appeared for Bhagat Singh, and his friends were the Scott and Saunders. These are police officers. They got mixed, Bhagat Singh got mixed up with them. Mixed means the identity was mistaken. What happened was Lala Lajpat Rai was leading a procession in Lahore against Simon Commission. He was shouting along with about 300-400 people, Simon Commission, go back, Simon Commission, go back. And the most important slogan of the time, Inqilab Zindabad. So Inqilab Zindabad is long live the revolution. And secondly was Simon Commission, go back. Simon Commission had come to reform the government and the legislatures, which they did not like. They had seen the draft because it was circulated and they were opposed to it. So instead of liberalizing and going towards freedom, it was bringing them back to slavery. In that, this Scott, a police officer, SCOTT, Scott, a police officer, he hit Lala Lajpat Rai on the head. Lala Lajpat Rai, in 17 days, died. As soon as he died, it ignited and the blood boiled. It ignited the minds of young people that this is bad. He is a respected leader and also a leading lawyer. Lala Lajpat Rai, also a lawyer. Bhagat Singh and his friends said, this will not do. There was one thing common between them. That was Arya Samaj. Lala Lajpat Rai was an Arya Samajist. So was Bhagat Singh. Arya Samaj basically meant we are Hindus minus these rituals, these terrible rituals. Widow will not remarry. Things like that. So reformed Hinduism was Arya Samaj. So they were Arya Samajists. They were not members of the Congress. Pro-Congress, but not members of the Congress. Bhagat Singh was not member of the Congress. Lala Lajpat Rai at that time was not member. He was Arya Samajist. So Bhagat Singh killed this man, police officer, thinking that this is Scott, police officer Scott. Actually, he was Saunders. So by mistake, he killed Saunders. This point was raised by Asaf Ali, that there was no, in his defense, that this was not, there was no intention to kill. There was no intention to kill Saunders. It was a mistake. And when there is no intention, there is no malice, there is nothing, there is no conspiracy. So this case, really he should be set free. So judges there, judge or judges, did not agree with him. The sessions judge did not agree and gave him life imprisonment. On some grounds, his reasoning was that this is not so. You have killed somebody, so you go. Except that they did argue, Asaf Ali did argue that the sentence should not be death, because the judges had said, we are going to put death sentence. He said, no, please don't do that. You commute to life imprisonment. And any number of years, make it 20, because they were very young in 30s and I was in 30. So 20 years में हो जाता तो 50. The High Court also did not, Punjab, in Lahore, there was Punjab High Court, and they upheld the sentence of death. And they were hanged. These are the two Bhagat Singh cases of Asaf Ali. The third case was of Indian National Army. Indian National Army means the British Army. There were Indians who were in the British Army, and the British Army was known as Indian National Army. And opposite to that was Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Azad Fauj. And the argument developed was that these people, first there was the charge. Charge was of treason. That these officers have left the Indian National Army and joined the Azad Fauj of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. So, give them death for treason. In this, Asaf Ali, because he gathered, and the trial was held here in Delhi, Red Fort, he succeeded in getting, this is the best thing, he was the advocate on record. He, on each hearing, he would bring Nehru, Kardju, big names, and there were lawyers. He brought all these lawyers, one by one, and impressed upon, and they've succeeded in impressing upon, so very few were held guilty, and most of these officers were let off. That all right, this is not a case of treason. So this is how, these are the three main cases of Asaf Ali. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please come. Thank you very much, Vijay Panjwani ji. At this age also.
In a hurry.
Not in a hurry. Explained all cases, and even though you have taken double the time. Double the time. Thank you. Your content was there.
So double the time doesn't show that you are in hurry. Sorry.
At the end, so you covered everything. Yes, agreed. Now we request Ajit Kumar Sinha sir. He's a freedom fighter. Rajendra Prasad. Former judge of Sinha sir.
Just a word before I start. Sir, it is the spirit that counts. Age is not a fact. He is spirited. That will always prevail over all other factors. My senior colleagues and the previous speakers, respected previous speakers, members of the bar, ladies and gentlemen, this compendium which has been evolved by a sincere and sustained effort of Mr. G.Seshagiri Garu is worth, it is commendable not only for the purposes of participation, but at the same time giving opportunities to youngsters who have also contributed by writing articles. And this anthology includes each and every contribution in a form of booklet. There are many such freedom fighters and many such people who may not be even knowing them. Information is knowledge, and that is depicted by your effort, which is now percolating to all the youngsters, members of the bar. You see, you emulate, you try to cover up, you try to understand what all was there our forefathers have done. The dominant legal professionals, not only for freedom struggle but thereafter, and their contribution was remarkable. There are three stages, if I may just clarify. One was freedom struggle. Second was the Constituent Assembly debates. And the third was framing of the Constitution. So it was not confined to that. It continued even after independence. And I have written an article on Dr. Rajendra Prasad because he was also the president of the Constituent Assembly and his contribution. So what I actually intend to say, that their vocabulary of ideals resulted and was the product and the mind which they gave into the basic feature of the Constitution, which you read as the preamble, fundamental right. Those basic feature of the Constitution was the vocabulary of ideals of those great personalities and how they evolved it by experience. Because they had suffered. We have not suffered. So we have not come the hard way which they actually came. That's the difference, underlying difference. And their means to achieve the end was very crystal clear. Independent India, freedom struggle, we should have a constitution. That is why even after so many years, still after many amendments, 105 amendments, still it persists, and we all see that this is the guiding factor, and that is the rule of law. So it is all credit to those forefathers who had a vision for the society at large. Now, this I am saying something apart from the general thing, but now I'll come to one such man, Dr. Rajendra Babu. He was born in a small place, Siwan, in Bihar. He studied in Kolkata Presidency College. He never stood second. He got a scholarship of rupees 30. And that is how he studied. And there is a saying, which is a truth, that he never stood second. He was a gold medalist throughout. And not only in one faculty, he did his arts, he did his economics, he did his law, and everywhere he got a gold medal. The examiner commented, which is a hallmark of his intellect, that the examinee is better than the examiner. There can't be a better compliment than this. When Bihar was partitioned in 1912, when the High Court was brought in 1916, he started his lucrative practice and he immediately flourished. But in 16 itself, he for the first time met Mahatma Gandhi in Lucknow session. And he roped him in by saying that you join me for the fact-finding thing in Champaran. He accompanied him. That was the changing point in his life, and he accompanied him to Champaran. And thereafter, he was the greatest follower of Mahatma Gandhi. There are many lawyers. There are many lawyers during that time, many of which I read it, I was not knowing it. Many of you may not be knowing in the articles. It's good that you involved all the members of the bar to give their articles. Because many have personal knowledge, many are from that area, region. That reflects the society at large. that see, irrespective of caste, religion, place, birth, everyone was one at that point of time. Unfortunately, we have drifted. But at that time, the sole objective and motto was to get independence, the freedom struggle. Two more things I will tell you. When it happened in Chori Chora, then the murders took place, if you remember, by Satyagrahis of the police officials in 1922. And Gandhiji was very upset by that. They said that you have not followed the non-violence path, and that is how it brought about Rajendra Babu more close to him. And he left his lucrative practice and fully joined him and went along with him wholeheartedly. That any violent means to achieve this is not acceptable. And he was vocal about that in fully following the footsteps. Three more things which he propagated was hand spinning of cotton, khadi, which Gandhiji also was doing. The educational system and the change to be brought about, which will give you the idea of your country, your education, and not the British education. He removed both his sons from the British school and brought him to the high school, only to ensure that I should lead from front. Otherwise, people will say that my sons are reading there, and I am preaching that the educational system should be brought about by a way of change, so that human values are and the requirements of village and the upliftment of village should be the first and foremost criteria to be looked into. After the 1935 Act came into force, he also joined the Quit India movement along with other leaders, mainly the Gandhi, in August 8, and he was jailed. He was incarcerated for good 3 years. You can imagine, good 3 years. Initially, he was put in Sadakat Ashram in Patna, and thereafter to Bankipur jail. When he came out in 1945, he was unanimously elected as President of the Constituent Assembly on 11 December 1946, which was very important and challenging job. But he guided, regulated, and gave directions as to what has to be done, how it should be done, and it should be for the welfare of the society and for the upliftment of the downtrodden. That was in his mind. The untouchables, at that time it was prevailing. He worked like anything to bring them at par. Thereafter, he was given a name which in Hindi we call Ajat Satru. Ajat Satru means a person who has no enemies, which is something phenomenal, which is something very rare. Can you imagine? And this was given by the people of his caliber, that you are the real Ajat Satru, because there is not a whisper, not a word against you till date. So you have no enemies, only friends. When he was in 1946, he was also inducted during the Viceroy time as a minister of food and other parts. But after independence, when on 26th January, when the Constituent Assembly was over and the constitution was drafted, then he was asked, he was roped in rather, to become the president, and he was the longest serving president for 12 years, from 1950 to 62. He quit himself because his wife was not having good health. And he did not take anything, he straight away came to Patna. Lived in a very small Sadakat Ashram room, and he gave, there was earthquake and all those things, he gave all his articles of his wife, the jewelry, and donated it. And his wife died. He was a patient of asthma, he was not taken care of properly. Within 6 months or a year, he also died. But the most important thing he did was the upliftment and the change in the education system. That was the hallmark of his guidance, which if you see the constitution, that is why I started by saying the ideological approach as to what should be there in the constitution, because that is to become a rule of law, was his objective along with others, and that was reflected in the ideals and the preamble and the basic feature of the constitution. So Rajendra Babu lived a very simple life. Even in the President House, he lived a very simple life, as I have come to know about it from my father and others, that he used to sleep in a palang, chowki, lived a life with dhoti and nothing special. The selfless sacrifice is something we should learn from and we should emulate. We, the legal fraternity, should at least try to imbibe and do at least 5 to 10% of what they have done. This compendium is a reflection, not only a reflection, but is a guiding factor to all the youngsters and including elder people who are in the bar to emulate, to do something good in their life. At least it will send a message, and I once again congratulate you to bring about this in a booklet form, because once you make your book your best friend, it never takes anything in return, it always gives you. So make your book your best friend. Whenever you read, information is knowledge. So whenever you read, you will get something. At least you will imbibe something, you will try to strive to do something good at the same time. That itself will be an achievement, and also that yes, it has become and proved fruitful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sinasa. Very nicely, very encouraging and very enthusiastic way. Really it gives further to thought ourselves and excellent guidance. Thank you very much, sir.
I'm grateful. Thank you.
Really, this book has given a lot of
Yes.
corridor in the various parts of the country and from other parts of the world also. A lot of demand. What I noticed, August 17th it was released, even till date is a lot of demand. Every day 4 or 5 people or 10 people they are coming and taking themselves. Sometimes books are available, sometimes not, but it's a great, I never expected honestly. A great enthusiasm we have done. We have some thought, no doubt at all, but let's see. But it's given a great mileage to Friday Group, me and everyone, lawyer community also, and our sacrifices, your legacy. It's reflecting actually what is your legacy, which we are missing in the country today, in the lawyers community. One way it's giving a great projection. Thank you very much, sir. You have given.
We should also pay attention to what Justice Nagaratna has said.
Yes, you can say.
She has
One
said.
second, we can say that.
She has said, very rightly she has said, that my suggestion to Seshagiri Rao would be to curate another compendium on the luminaries who served as members of the Constituent Assembly, including the 15 women members. Because there were 9 members, Constituent Assembly debates, whereas the Constituent Assembly members were 280 or 89. She has mentioned that. So what she says that another compendium should reflect on that. And very rightly, that forward of hers is very important.
Now to implement leadership, you're always nice to us, Friday Group, the way you so positively implement. Most of the lawyers will request to right now you prepare yourself, maybe may not be in future at least, but now everyone is why we have not participated. That's a one word commonly we are getting. That time they never realized that it is going to be this much. Judges are going to be release this book. So now everyone is that we are missing really.
Every day we learn.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, dear. Thank you very much.
We take your signature, sir.